It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma on Monday, January 20th, 2025. That is the day in which you are hearing this. However, full disclosure, we're not live. At the time of this show recording, we still do not know what's going to happen to TikTok. The deadline, Sunday, January 19th. And at the time of us recording this here program, we don't know yet what's going to happen to TikTok. So instead of ignoring it, we'll just lean into it. And on Monday, when you hear this, you'll already know what happened. And to lean into it, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take bets inside the Treehouse on whether or not we think TikTok is going to still be around on Monday. And then you, as you listen to this, get to know already what's happened, and you get an idea of which one of us is an idiot. So, what do you guys think? Is there still going to be a TikTok on Monday? And how much you want to throw down?
I'm going to go with no. I think they'll ban it.
Trey, you think TikTok will live through, will be alive on Monday?
I do. I think it will somehow, some way survive, whether it be the Supreme Court or some last minute congressional action. But I mean, TikTok is its own economy. And you know, you want to talk about an opiate for the masses. I think there's going to be a lot of upset people if they don't figure out something.
Yep. So
I mean, if they stall it, like if they delay it, does that count? Like if they
if it's still around on Monday, then yeah.
That's the bet. All I'm asking is, do you think TikTok is still on and active in the United States on Monday? Whether there's a last minute buyer or they delay it by 270 days, which I think is floating around Congress, or is it just they flipped the switch and then no more TikTok in the United States? Here are my brief thoughts. Number one, I'm with Trey. I think TikTok will still be around on Monday in the United States. However, I don't want there to be. I hope it dies. I hope it dies in a horrific, fiery internet death.
Yeah.
Because I'm now at the point in my life where I'd like to see a little bit of chaos.
Okay.
I think it will be saved because of all the money that is in TikTok. Not just at a corporate level, but all the individuals that make a living or side hustles, whatever it is, using TikTok as their primary platform. There's billions of dollars wrapped up in it, in its own little economy. Therefore, I think money wins, and I think it'll still be around because of money. I don't want it to be, though. I'd like to see it go away just to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'll reverse mine then, because if they can delay
no,
it,
you can't do that. You're locked in. We have to have some conflict, Raj. You have to say it. Yeah,
you didn't say no take backsies.
I just did. No take backsies.
Yeah, but I've already started the take backsies.
Trey, can we get a ruling on this? Can you say no take backs in the middle of a take back?
I think you have to establish take back rule on the front end. So I'm going to say no, Raj, no reversal. You are locked in.
All right. Look at that. The two white guys.
What's the use of having the privilege, Raj, if you can't take it out for a spin once in a while? I mean, you can feel guilty about it all you want, and we do. It's very guilt-ridden in here, but I'm still going to take it.
Although I realize that it's partly government owned, but ByteDance, if they let it get shut down, they're going to be walking away from I mean, billions of dollars that are potentially on the table in a sale.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can see the point, but it's also still Chinese spyware. That's what it was designed to be. And so
And
Allegedly.
again, well, yeah, here's
Everything's
my
Chinese spyware at this point. I
well,
ordered some deodorant the other day from China, and it's probably cataloging all my habits.
I mean, and I've said this, that's a lot of BS to sift through for, Chinese, for spyware to pick up anything useful. And number two, so TikTok 2.0 will be American spyware. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, there's spyware. Our phone, everything is listening to us. Or is it really going to be? I have a problem that TikTok is somehow a threat to national security.
I agree. This goes back to what we said before, where like the FBI says, careful what you do and say on your phone. Bad people are listening. It's like same thing with TikTok. If it's nothing but Chinese spyware, what are they learning? They're only learning that idiot Americans like to do dumb 10 to 15-second dances in their living room.
Well, I think it was originally designed to give to U.S. soldiers for them to talk to their families. Is what it was.
Well,
supposed
lots
to
of
do.
things started out with good intentions and morphed into something else.
No, it was designed by China to give to U.S. military families so that they could talk to each other, kind of like a WhatsApp. And then it was giving away positions. And so to disguise that, they made it like a global, like a social media thing. So I think that's how that kind of expanded from what the original intent from China was to.
That seems odd to me because I'm pretty sure that most of the enlisted individuals that would be using TikTok for that purpose, you already know they're there.
Yeah.
SEAL Team 6 and the CIA are not going to send a message back through TikTok in whatever stage it was in to say, hey, honey, doing great in Shanghai. That they're not going to use it for that. I mean, the people that you would actually catch sending messages back are already on a base with a flag attached to it.
Yeah, I think it was just for families to talk to each other. Nothing like encrypted messages or anything like that. I think that's what it was.
The original purpose of TikTok was to share short form lip syncing videos. Hence the name ByteDance.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think it was supposed to be somewhat of a replacement for Vine, which a lot of people online miss.
Oh yeah, Vine. That was a quick flash in the pan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, the other thing that's funny though is that I've already read over the weekend that people were already looking into other options to fill the TikTok void, and a lot of what they're going towards are other Chinese-based apps. So it's like now it's just going to be like whack-a-mole as far as Chinese spyware apps.
But the influx to Instagram monetarily, if it does get banned, would be insane. Like what over the next month or so, if it gets banned over the next month, 2 months, 3 months, the monetary gains for Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff would go through the roof.
And that's one of the big discussions is who's going to benefit more, Instagram or YouTube?
Both. I'm not going to say equally, but both. Why wouldn't you start posting on or take all that content that you have and just move it over? If they allow you to access your content, just move that over to either Instagram or YouTube, or start your own YouTube channel and monetize that way. I mean, I think it would take time to recoup your money that you would potentially lose if they do ban TikTok. But I think you would recoup it in the first few months.
Well, one thing they're saying is that this isn't going to be they shut down on the 19th, but the app still works and you can still get your videos and stuff. They're saying if this goes through on the 19th, it's gone.
Oh, really?
Yes.
See, that's why I want it to happen. That sounds like fun for people. I have very little skin in the game on the TikTok side. That's my lowest performing platform personally. If it goes down in a ball of fire, I'm fine with that.
I got more followers on TikTok not using it than I did using it.
It's because you don't have big boobs and you're not dancing around.
Yeah,
sorry, Raj. That's the reality of it.
I know.
How much are we throwing down? What do you say? $20? $20 each?
20 bucks. 20
All
bucks.
right. So Trey, that means we're going to get $20 each out of Raj.
Okay.
And then if Raj, if you win, then you'll get like $5.
How does that work?
No takebacks. Already
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Well, our website is not going dark. For all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. That means past shows, links, contact info, and more. Go to treehouseonair.com. That's treehouseonair.com. I'm Dan, along with Trey and Raj inside the Treehouse. Our lights are on, which is a nice feeling. And again, I just we're going to move on into something less important. And before we do, just want to say I really hope it went completely dark with the flip of a switch, because that just sounds like fun. I want to see people wigging the F out because TikTok goes away.
No, I agree.
I just think there's just too much money wrapped up in it for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, and the last minute buyer, like what are they trying to sell it for?
I had heard anywhere in that 40 to 50 billion range a few days ago, and I don't know if that's because that's what Elon paid for Twitter, but that was a number I heard.
Okay, that could happen. I mean, you can get a group of people together.
Well,
maybe even Elon.
From what I've seen, Kevin O'Leary has a group that they want to buy it.
That's the guy from Shark Tank.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, I heard about
a group that they want to buy it.
Yep.
And then there is a third one who wants to do it, but with almost, and it's fascinating, and it would probably work, almost like a crowdsource funding deal of, you can buy a small percentage of it if you want to chip in. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So sort of a cross between capitalism and communism.
Yeah.
Why not? Give it a shot.
If you can have
capitalism.
Would that make TikTok a 501c3? All right. So the TikTok thing, again, see what happens. We'll see who's a big dumbass on whenever that happens from the time we record. But now let's jump into our regular helping of funny and stupid inside the Treehouse. You guys like your jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, you're happy. They offer at least some level of fulfillment. If you were to get into a relationship with a woman, you know what? I shouldn't be so limiting. It's the 21st century. If you guys, whatever makes you happy, if you were to get into a relationship with someone that made more money than you, would you be okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Trey? All good?
Yeah. A sugar mama? Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
According to a new study, wealthy wife, unhappy life. Men are supposedly sadder when their wives earn more than them. Again, that's according to a new study. From Taylor Swift to Nicole Kidman, many high-profile female celebrities earn more than their partners. In this case, those partners, Travis Kelce and Keith Urban, seem fairly happy with their setups, but a new study has warned that the same is not true across the board. First of all, stop using celebrities as your litmus test for everybody.
Yeah.
That ain't cool. There's absolutely no way I can fathom Travis Kelce having a problem with Taylor Swift making that much more than him, because he's already a super successful millionaire. He's fine. Same with Keith Urban. I'm actually surprised that Nicole Kidman is worth more than Keith Urban, considering how, for longevity of career, Keith Urban has had a wider range of success. Again, when you're talking about someone like Taylor Swift, who might be worth $1 billion now, versus Travis Kelce, who might be worth $50 million. Is that a big difference? Yeah, but Travis Kelce still got $50 million. He's going to be fine. The difference I could see is if, let's say, your significant other makes $500,000 a year and you make, I don't know, 50.
Yeah. I don't know why, I mean, if you're in a partnership and if it's a happy relationship, I don't think that should matter. I mean, if it's being flaunted in front of your face, I think like if Taylor Swift is like, like just throwing money at Travis Kelce's face every day,
just smacking him with it every chance she gets.
Yeah,
that's not because of the money. That would be just because she's an awful person.
Yeah, be like, mama's on the phone, go get yourself a Lamborghini. Anyway, so that would be kind of a dick move. But I mean, like, if everybody's happy and everybody's, contributing, I think that's just fine.
Dan, is there a reason you brought this story up?
I just thought it was fascinating that there's some men that are threatened by their wives.
Do you need to talk about something?
I don't need to talk about anything. I'm happy to report to you right now that my wife is the breadwinner. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But
it wasn't always the case. I mean, there's been times when we've been more equal, and then there's been times when I made more, and now we're in the Tara era in which she makes more money than I do.
Yeah, but you also help out with the stuff and the things. Yeah. So yeah, that's fair. I mean, like,
I pay for breakfast.
You mean you make breakfast?
If things are tight.
if Mama doesn't give you allowance that day,
I get my allowance, then I'll go buy his breakfast. Otherwise, I'll just whip something up, maybe like an old chew or something that's boiled for 2 days.
She just leaves a 20 on the nightstand. Is that what she's doing? Mama said, "Get you some eggs."
I'll take validation from just about anywhere.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Did you know you can get even more Treehouse? It's true. Subscribe to Treehouse Plus. Bonus content and subscriber-only episodes, including video, all available at patreon.com/treehouseonair. And if you subscribe to Treehouse Plus, then maybe that allows me to chip away at the Terra era, and maybe it can be the Dan season again, the season of Dan, to where I can, contribute more to the O'Malley household and feel better about myself. Help me feel better about myself when you subscribe to Treehouse Plus. Patreon.com/treehouseonair. Patreon.com/treehouseonair. Thank you very much. I'm Dan, along with Trey and Raj, back with you inside the Treehouse. Have you guys ever been to, let's say, Walgreens, CVS, or I think those are the main ones, the stores that lock up a bunch of their products so they don't get stolen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like this happened to me just actually it was yesterday. Went to Walgreens and tried to get some deodorant, but it's locked up. And that's where you have to try to find somebody to, unlock it for you, which is not always the easiest thing. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It's kind of a roll of the dice. Turns out that locking up all those products doesn't really help the retail establishment all that much. Walgreens has admitted that locking everything up to combat shoplifting has backfired because shoppers just stop buying the stuff that's locked up.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're going to Amazon. That's
and
one of them knew it on the front end. They're like, we're going to have to close stores because of this, because we're losing either way, basically.
Yeah. It really is a fascinating thing. The CEO of Walgreens did an interview with Fortune magazine, and he said Walgreens had a 52% increase in theft in 2020 and 2021. So they invested in increased security, like all the locks that we see. It backfired, though, because it turned away actual business. He said it's been largely ineffective. When you lock things up, you don't sell as many of them. We've kind of proven that pretty conclusively. He stopped short of saying that they would take them out, but he did say they're working on other creative solutions to tackle the shrink problem while improving the in-store experience for people who are trying to buy things. The whole idea of walking into a store and buying something is the convenience of it, right? Especially if you're talking about a Walgreens, CVS, corner store type scenario. The idea is convenience. Walk in, buy it, walk out.
Yeah.
And you don't want to wait on the Amazon delivery. It might be a day or two before you get it. Or in some cases, you might get Amazon delivery same day. The point is, it's supposed to be the convenience factor. So if you walk in and the thing's locked up, no longer convenient. So I'm just going to order on Amazon.
Well, and it's also for CVS, any pharmacies, it's their whole business model is, well, you have to come in and get that stuff. You pick up your prescription. So while you're there, you'll buy other things.
And the other problem with that is now is you've got Amazon getting into the prescription game. So eventually I feel like, okay, you guys have both seen Demolition Man starring Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes, right? Mm-hmm. And in one of the scenes in the film with Sandra Bullock, she's telling him about the future because they're going to dinner at Taco Bell. And she tells them during the restaurant wars, all the restaurants are now Taco Bell because Taco Bell won the restaurant wars. It seems like Demolition Man was kind of onto something there. While it may not be the restaurant business, everything is going to eventually be Amazon.
Or Walmart.
Walmart. And so it really is turning into online marketplace situation. And it's just, you're going to buy from one place or the other. And maybe eventually it's all going to be one.
Well, and the whole part ultimately why Amazon, I don't know if you can ever unseat Walmart for what its little niche, but where Amazon kills everyone is they're not paying rent. Like every CVS, every Walgreens, they're paying millions of dollars in real estate. I mean, the CVS that now occupies where the old Loon used to be, may it rest in peace.
Amen.
They paid $17 million for that.
Wow. Wow.
And that was just to be on that corner so they could be right across the street from Walgreens. And at the time, there was a grocery store and another pharmacy right there. And they wanted, and all that urban sprawl that is developed in Uptown, they wanted to be right in the heart of it.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, I mean the whole reason for products in like a CVS is that's why they make you wait on your prescription. It's not like it's necessary. Like they have it all right there. They want you to shop around and buy stuff and then pick up your prescription. So I mean, I don't know why locking anything up would help if your whole business plan is come in, wait for your prescription, but while you're waiting, go get stuff. But we're gonna lock it up now.
Well,
like I've never heard of deodorant getting locked up.
It's why a grocery store, your essentials are always at the back of the store. They want you to walk through all of the other things to get to your milk and eggs and butter.
Yeah. Yeah. The other day I was at the store and I was trying to get some deodorant and it wasn't locked up behind a glass case. Instead, the little poles or whatever, the metal brackets that it was actually, sorry, it wasn't deodorant, it was razors. That's so it's got it's got the little hole on the package that slides back and forth on that rod. And the rod has a cap on it with the price on it. And that was locked over the rod holding the razors. So I couldn't pull the razors off the rod. And there was no one around to help me.
Yeah. But that's also for a safety thing. You don't want some psychopath coming in and just pulling razors off the shelf and start slicing people up. Like that's a safety issue.
It's a Schick Extreme disposable 8-pack. This it's not a straight razor. It's not a machete, which I'm pretty sure is in the garden section, not locked up.
I'm just saying,
I'm
necessity
pretty
is the
sure I could
mother.
do more damage with a garden weasel that's not locked up than a locked up Gillette 5-blade.
Necessity is the mother of invention, my friend. Like they'll find a way. They'll find a way to do that. So
I've had fever dreams. I saw all the fun that Denzel Washington had at the end of the first Equalizer movie in that Home Depot store, killing all the bad guys. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the nail gun. Yeah, I've never looked at a nail gun the same way. I'm like, that's a weapon.
Yeah. It's one of the few times in my life I looked at barbed wire and smiled.
Shingles or Russians.
It was also the first time I've ever seen a shot glass used for two different things.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Do you like to watch? Well, you can watch us on YouTube. Just look us up on YouTube. It's The Treehouse. You can also just type in The Treehouse Show, The Treehouse Podcast, and find us and Treehouse TV on YouTube, or you can go directly to the channel, youtube.com/@treehouseonair to find us on YouTube. And then maybe that way you can see what it looks like to be inside the Treehouse with us. Like today, for example, I'm wearing green. Trey's wearing red. We look like some sort of late Christmas theme going on, which is different for us because usually Trey and I somehow sync up our shirt colors unintentionally. It's always accidental. Raj thinks it's a conspiracy we have against him. Like if Trey and I are both wearing blue or white, Raj, you think that we're out to get you in some way. It's really not. There's nothing intentional here. It's just accidental.
No, I just think you guys text and go, "What are you gonna wear today?" And then
I will say it is suspicious because on days that we wear the same color, that's obvious. But even days like today, where I'm wearing green and Trey's wearing red, they actually complement one another.
Did you ever see Heartbreak Ridge?
Clint
Eastwood?
No.
I think it was Heartbreak Ridge. Anyways, I actually know. I text Tara and ask what she's laid out for day on that day, and then I go accordingly.
My wife does not pick out my clothing.
She certainly knows what you're going to wear.
Because I'm already wearing it.
Yeah, well, okay, Dan.
Sure. You're a big boy. You can pick out your own clothes.
I am a big boy and I can pick out my own clothing. Where do you guys come up with this crap?
Because we can just see it in our head. Like, here, honey, you have to do a show today. Then put on the green one.
Don't embarrass mama.
Just chunks of 20 at you.
You both. Fine. I'm going to read a story that's going to make me smile. Try to distract the two bullies inside the treehouse here. A woman in Indonesia has gone viral. The reason? She got her nose ring caught in the mesh of an office chair. Do you guys ever remember when you were kids and then like someone would get something pierced and then someone's parent would inevitably say, well, what are you going to do if someone like ear piercing, what are you going to do if someone rips it out of your head? What are you going to do if it gets caught on a volleyball net or something, or it gets caught on the tether ball something and gets ripped out? And we always brushed it off like, that's not going to happen. It happened. It happened to a girl in Indonesia. She got her nose ring caught on the mesh on the back of an office chair. And because of it, she's gone viral. No one could get it loose for some reason, so they had to call for help. She says she was joking around and she stuck her nose in the holes in the back of the office chair, and that's when the piercing got caught. So she did this to herself. I don't know why you play with it to see if it will get caught, and then you act surprised when it does, but go figure. There is video of the entire rescue mission, and they had some fun with it. She seemed scared during the ride in the back of the van with the chair. So they had to, I guess, take her to the fire department house in Indonesia to cut her loose, because I guess they're not armed with the proper things with the Indonesian fire department. I have no idea.
How did they cut her out? Like pliers or
Scissors?
Well, they pretended initially like they were going to use a chainsaw to free her, which I appreciate. I think that's hysterical.
That's hilarious. Well done.
I mean, look at it this way. I mean, if you're going to be called in to remove a girl and her nose ring from the back of an office chair, if you're the firefighters, then you might as well have a little fun with it.
Yeah.
All right, hold still. Don't move. Really. Do not move. And bonus points if you pull down the clown mask right before you get started. So they were messing with her and pulled out the chainsaw, but ultimately they just used some pliers to cut her free.
Okay, yeah. Thank God it wasn't like a nipple ring or something like that. That would be super awkward.
Well, you wouldn't bust out the chainsaw there. The firefighters would pull out something else. It's a good thing you called the fire department, because you look hot. And
For
stuck.
alarm.
Yeah, you look hot and stuck.
Yeah, they definitely have been like, yeah, we're gonna need backup for this.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you miss any part of the Treehouse show, you can catch up with the Treehouse podcast, available on all major platforms like Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Amazon Music, and more. Or you can listen right on our website, treehouseonair.com. That is to listen to any part of the show you've missed via the Treehouse podcast. Just go to treehouseonair.com. All right, guys, today is Monday, January 20th, 2025. So let's celebrate with some birthdays. Today, turning 38. Turning 38 today is actor Evan Peters. Evan Peters is 38. When I first saw it was Evan Peters' 38th birthday, I thought, wow, he's a lot younger than I thought. I also thought this was the porn star Evan Peters' birthday. It turns out I was wrong. This is a mainstream actor, Evan Peters, who's been in American Horror Story, X-Men Apocalypse, X-Men Dark Phoenix, and X-Men Days of Future Past. He's the one that played Quicksilver in those X-Men movies. He's also the one that reprised that role in the MCU TV show, or TV version show, Scarlet Witch, and Vision series. Very good actor. He's also, by the way, if you watched the Dahmer series on Netflix a couple years ago, that's him.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And
again,
are
not
you
the porn star Evan Peters, but the main.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a porn star Evan Peters.
Thank you, Rush.
Yeah.
There is. I mean, I'm gonna Google this just to make sure.
I don't need you to
you
Google
clearly,
it. I just clearly are a fan of the other one's work.
Peters porn.
We believe you, Dan.
I just believe you, brother. You just like off the top of the dome. You're like not to be confused with. Like, I wasn't confusing him. I didn't know there was one.
Top of the dome.
Yeah.
Anyway, if I have the correct male porn star, Evan Peters is the one that actually visited our radio studios years and years ago, Trey, with his then girlfriend or wife, one of the porn stars from Texas. I can see her face, and I'm drawing a blank right now. Just nothing. No help.
I wasn't there.
That's never noticed the guys, really.
It was Jessica. It's Jessica something. Someone will know it.
I'm sure you could Wikipedia him. I get, or I don't know how. I don't know if there's a porn Wikipedia.
Jessica Drake.
That's it, Jessica Drake. Thank you, Trey. See, you do remember. There was
The
a day
girls.
we had her.
I remember the girls, Dan.
You didn't recognize him? I remember because there was a hubbub around, because Jessica Drake, porn star, was going to visit the radio show that day. And I don't know if she was married to Evan Peters, who was also an adult film star, or they were just boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. But I remember going into our office because Jessica Drake was in the studio, and I went to our office, and in the office was her man, Evan Peters, and I recognized him. I was like, that guy looks really familiar. Oh, yeah, I know why.
Didn't we kick her out of the studio because she was such a bitch?
It's really hard to keep them all straight, which one did what. I do remember one of the last porn stars we had in eventually found Jesus. Not long after she visited our studio. That was Jenna Presley. Jenna Presley, I remember, came in. She signed Chuck, the band manager's keyboards. And then like 3 weeks later, there was news that she had joined the XXX Church, which is for reformed porn stars. Hell of a
That's
service.
a church. That's a church I could get behind.
Yes, it is.
I'd find Jesus there too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Hindu, so that'd be great.
Communion is on a whole other level in that church.
Hot body of Christ.
Offering plate is just them with their mouth open.
I can see the allure. Yeah.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
At least it's one church that doesn't hide the fact that its sexual misconduct is expected.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
It is time to advertise inside the Treehouse. You can shoot us an email if you'd like to advertise inside the Treehouse. Sponsorship opportunities are available. Again, just shoot us an email, treehouseonair@gmail.com. That's treehouseonair@gmail.com to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. There's a new job opportunity I'm going to tell you guys about. But before I do that, I had one more additional thought about the girl from Indonesia who went viral for getting her nose ring stuck on the back of an office chair. The firefighters came out and were messing with her. They came out with a chainsaw and said, all right, hold still, which is great. But I think they could have, kept going with that bit. Start with the chainsaw and go, you know what? We got something else. Bring out the jaws of life. Give that a shot. Bring out like those big landscaping loppers, to give that a shot. Just levels of terror to instill in this young girl. And then I thought another one that would have been good is you get the entire, all the firefighters from that particular firehouse, right? And one of them grabs her by the waist from behind, and all the rest of them grab him from behind, and so on and so forth. And then they say, all right, 1, on 3, everybody pull.
And then somebody goes, got your nose.
Yes. Turns out I got a little evil streak in me. Sue me. I'm going to make up for the evil streak with this. There is a job opportunity out there in case you're looking for a change. Planters, as in the nut company, Planters, is hiring 3 people to drive their nutmobile around the country for 1 year and be a brand ambassador. It pays $45,000 plus benefits, and you also get a travel stipend. If you want to apply, you can do so at plantersnutmobile.com. So I realize that the ultimate brand ambassador position I think you can have in this niche industry is one of the pilots of the Wienermobile from Oscar Mayer. But apparently, this is new to me, that Planters has their own mobile brand vehicle, and they were deft enough to name it the Nutmobile, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that was Trey's nickname for his car in high school. What?
Just pulling up to high school. There's Trey in the Nutmobile. Yeah, I would love to. I'm going to apply for that job, and I'm just going to drive by places where kids have nut allergies. That's going to be my whole function.
I like how Trey is like finger tutting right now, like he's a Bond villain.
I didn't get the Nutmobile. I mean,
what do you mean?
My passenger seat always. That's just the nut throne.
You're welcome, Your Highness.
Different nut.
Just imagine sidling up next to a romantic interest at a bar and say, you know, I drive the Nutmobile. It's every time.
Every city you've rolled into.
Every car Trey gets into is the Nutmobile.
I am nutting in you.
The check-in statuses would be legendary. All right, for all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. You can also find and follow us on social media for the show. It's at Treehouse On Air. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. For Trey, it's at Trey Trenholm 1, which if you want to change that to the Nutmobile, go for it. And for Raj, it's at Comedian Raj. We'll see you tomorrow right here inside the Treehouse.